We continue now at the top of Daf Kuf Mem Aleph Amud Aleph and Meseches Bava Basra. This is Bava Basra Daf 141a. And the previous summer there was a machlokes amoraim between Abai and Rava. When it comes to a tumtum, we can't identify whether this individual is male or female. So according to Abai, he doesn't get any inheritance at all. According to Rava, he's always pushed to the lower level of inheritance. Let's say, for example, it's nechasim merubim. Let's say it's a lot of property. So then he's going to get mizonos like a daughter. He's not going to get the inheritance of the sons. And if it's nechasim muatim, if it's a small amount of property, where in general the sons don't get anything and the daughters, they get mizonos, so then he'll be treated like a son and he will not get anything. And so the Gemara was in the middle of asking from a brisa. The brisa says that yoresh keben, that he gets an inheritance like a son, and nizon kabas, he gets sustenance like a daughter. That seems to align with what Rava says. Elali Abaya, but according to Abaya, my nizon kabas, what does it mean? He gets sustenance like a daughter. According to Abaya, he shouldn't get anything. As the Rashbam explains, Elali Abaya do'amar eino notel klum. According to Abaya, who says that the tumtum doesn't get anything, lo im bonim velo im bonus, he doesn't get with the sons or the daughters. My nizon kabas, what does it mean that he's nizon kabas? He really doesn't get anything. But the Gemara continues, V'lataimich, but according to your reasoning, l'Rav, according to Rav, it's also difficult. My yoresh keben, what does it mean that he gets an inheritance like a son? He doesn't actually get any inheritance. As the Rashbam explains, V'lataimich, my yoresh keben, the katani reisha, what does it mean yoresh keben? That it says at the beginning of the brisa. V'alo al karchach yoresh keben ve'ein lo mi boile. Obviously it means he inherits like a son and doesn't get anything, because we're explaining that part of the brisa as talking about nechasim muatin, where he doesn't get anything. So that's what mi boile lefrushe, that's how you'll have to explain it. So say fanami loshna, so the end of the brisa also, it's not going to be any different. You'll give the same basic explanation. And so again, that's what the Gemara asks, V'lataimich, according to your reasoning, l'Rava my yoresh keben, according to Rava, how does he explain the line in the brisa of yoresh keben? Elo roy liyaresh ve'ein lo, it obviously means he's fit to inherit, but he's not going to get anything, because again, we're explaining that part of the brisa, talking about nechasim muatim. So achanami, so here also, roy lozon, according to Abaye, he'll explain, when it says in the brisa, nizon kabas, it means he's fit to get mizonos, again, ve'ein lo, but in a situation of nechasim merubim, he's fit to get those mizonos, but he's not going to get it, because again, according to Abaye, tumtum does not inherit. And the Gemara continues at the two dots. The Mishnah said, Ha'omer miyolda ishti zachar v'chulu. If somebody says, if my wife gives birth to a male, so he should get 100 dinars, and that's what happens, so then that offspring is going to get 100 dinars. If he says, if my wife gives birth to a female, so then the daughter is going to get 200 dinars, and that's what happened. And that's what happens. The daughter is born, so then the daughter gets 200 dinar. And the Gemara says, L'meimer, does that mean to say, Debas adif alei ben? It sounds like the Mishnah is saying that a daughter is better than a son, because by the daughter it's more money. The person is giving more money to the daughter than to the son. V'ha'amar Rabbi Yochanan mishum Rabbi Shimon bar Yochai. Didn't Rabbi Yochanan say in the name of Rabbi Shimon bar Yochai, Kol she'ino meniach ben liyarsho, anybody who doesn't leave over a son to inherit him, HaKadosh Baruch Hu mali olav evra, HaKadosh Baruch Hu was filled against him with anger. Shenemar, as it says in the pasuk, V'avartem es nachalaso lebito, it says if there's no sons, so then the inheritance is transferred to the daughter. V'yen havara ela evra, and the word v'havartem over here, that's an indication of evra, of anger. Shenemar, as it says in the pasuk in Sefania, Yom evra hayom hahu, that's an idea of anger. And so therefore from here it seems that the son is preferable to the daughter. And the Gemara answers, Le'inyan Yerusha ben Adifle, when it comes to Yerusha, when it comes to inheritance, so then we say a son is preferable. But Le'inyan Harvach, when it comes to support, when it comes to profit, so Bito Adifale, so then his daughter is preferable, meaning he wants to provide more support for the daughter, because it's harder for her to support herself. And the Gemara continues, Shmuel Amar, and Shmuel says, Hacha b'mevakeres askinan. Here we're talking about a mother who's giving birth for the first time, meaning it's the first child that's a daughter. Uchid Rav Chisda, and that follows what Rav Chisda says. D'Amar Rav Chisda, because Rav Chisda said, Bas techila, if a person gives birth to a daughter first, Simin Yafel Abanim, that's actually a good sign for the sons. Ika D'Amri, some say D'Meravil Acha, because she's able to raise her younger brothers. V'Ika D'Amri, and some say D'Lo Shalta Be'ein Abisha, if a person has a daughter first, so then the ayin hara, the evil eye, is not going to affect the person. And the Gemara continues, Amar Rav Chisda. Rav Chisda says, Ulididi, and for me, bin son adifan li mibni, it's better to have daughters than it is to have sons. And the Gemara continues, Viboy saying, if you want, I could say Hamani Rabbi Yehuda. Our Mishnah follows Rabbi Yehuda. The Gemara says, Hi Rabbi Yehuda. Which Rabbi Yehuda? Where do we find that Rabbi Yehuda says that daughters are preferable? Ilaim or Rabbi Yehuda devakol. If you're going to say it's the Rabbi Yehuda who darshans the word bakol. The Tanya, as we learned in a brayso of Hashem berach es Avraham bakol, it says that Hashem blessed Avraham bakol. He gave him all of the blessings. What does that mean? It's a machlokas tanoim. Rabbi Meir Omer shelo haya lo bas. Rabbi Meir says it actually means that he did not have a daughter. That was the bakol. Rabbi Yehuda Omer. Rabbi Yehuda says shahaisa lo bas. On the contrary, it means that he did have a daughter, uvakol shema, and her name was Bakol. And so you see, Rabbi Yehuda says that it is a blessing to have a daughter, but the Gemara says that's no proof that a daughter is preferable. Amor de shamadli le Rabbi Yehuda barta nami lo chasrei rachmona li Avram. We can say that Rabbi Yehuda holds that a daughter was not lacking for Avram. Ta'adifa mi ben mishamatli, but do we see within Rabbi Yehuda that a daughter is better than a son? And so the Gemara continues, Elohar Rabbi Yehuda, rather it's the following Rabbi Yehuda, the Tanya, as we learned in the Brisa, mitzvah lozunes habanos, it's a mitzvah to support the daughters, the kal v'chomer labanim, and certainly you should support sons, the aski b'Torah, because they learn Torah, so you should provide them support. Divrei Rabbi Meir, that's Rabbi Meir's opinion. Rabbi Yehuda, Rabbi Yehuda says, mitzvah lozunes habanim, it's a mitzvah to support the sons, v'kal v'chomer labanis, and on the contrary, it's even more important to support the daughters, the lo litzel, on that way they should not be disgraced. And the Gemara continues, Elohad Tanya, but what about that which we learned in the following brisa? Yolda Zachar Nekeva, if she gave birth to a male and a female, Hazachar Notel Shisha Dinarim, the male is going to take 6 dinar, that refers to 6 golden dinar, which is 150 silver dinar. Vahanekeva Notelas Shnei Dinarim, and the female is going to take 2 golden dinar, which is the equivalent of 50 silver dinarim. And so the Gemara is asking, B'mai, what exactly is the case over here? Meaning, what was the stipulation? We had cases in the Mishnah where there was a stipulation, if my wife gives birth to a male, then it's going to be 100 dinar. So then if it is a male, the male is going to get 100 dinar. What exactly is the situation in this brisa? Amar Rav Ashi says, Amrisa l'shmaita kami de Rav Kahana. I said this teaching over in front of Rav Kahana. B'misares, the case over here is where it's rearranged, as the Gemara now explains. D'yamar zachar techila masayim nekeva achara v'lo klum. He says the following stipulation: if a male is born first, so then it's going to be 200, and if a female is born after, that female is going to get nothing. And nekeva techila, but if the female is born first, this is talking about with twins, so then mana, so then the female will get 100 dinar, and zachar achareha mana, and then the male that comes after the female will also get 100. The yalda zachar nekeva, and then what happens is she does give birth to both a male and female. V'lo yadinan haiminayu nafik bereisha, but we actually don't know which one came out first. That's the case of this brisa. And so we say as follows: zachar, when it comes to the male, shakil mana mimanav shach. We know he takes 100 dinar. That's either way. If he came out first, so then the zachar is entitled to 200. If the zachar came out second, so then 100, so there's a minimum of 100 for the zachar. And idach mana, now you have another 100 that we're not sure about. When it comes to the other 100, it's possible that the zachar came out first and then he's going to get the entire other 100, or it's possible that the nekeva came out first and she's going to get the money. So have a moment hamutal besafik, that's money that we're not sure about. We have a suffix, we have a doubt, v'cholken, and therefore we split that money 50-50. That's why it comes out that the zachar is going to take 150 in this case of the brisa, and the nekeva is going to take 50. And the Gemara continues, V'had Tanya, but that which we learned in the brisa, it says in the brisa, Yolda Zachar Nekeva Ein Lo Ela Mana. It says that if a Zachar and Nekeva come, so then if she gives birth to both a Zachar and Nekeva, then it's only going to be a Mana, 100 dinar. Hechi Mashkachas Lasa. How do we understand that case? How do we understand that brisa? Amar Ravina says, B'mevasreini. That brisa is talking about giving money to the person who informs me about what gender the child was, and we will continue with this discussion in the next video on Daf Kuf Mem Aleph Amud Beis.